What's up guys, this is Ryan from Oshawa.com, and today I'm going to show you how to export your own custom lower thirds and place inside your own project file, as well as customize color to your own palette using a color control. Okay, so right now I have the After Effects file open, and you have the main timeline here, and you can kind of scroll and drag your playhead to see the different transitions that are set up for you, as well as lower third options. There's 7 different styles. And you can kind of scroll through and see, pick and choose which ones you like. And I think in this case, I kind of want to use style number 2 here. So I'm going to double click this comp here. And it shows you in greater detail all the different shape layers and text layers and everything that belong to that comp. I'm going to zoom out here, hitting Z on my keyboard and holding down Option. And I have some placeholder footage in here, and I'm just going to hide that because I won't be exporting that. That'll be in my Premiere file. So let's hide that. And let's say I want to change information here. So your name here, I'm going to go over to this red layer, type name here. And I'm going to hit Command T on my keyboard. That brings up the tool, the text tool. And I'm going to type in Joe Smith. And then I'm going to click down here to type title here. Same thing, Command T. And we're going to highlight it, hit delete. And let's say Joe Smith is an executive chef. Makes really good food. Okay, now let's say you're not crazy about the colors here. And so what I've done is I've set up different color controls so you can change some of these elements in just one click, and that goes for the entire timeline. So what I mean is, let's say you don't like the shape color of the hexagon. So if you look closely down here, we'll have this shape layer that says hexagon color 1. Now what that means is that if you want to change anything that says color 1 on it, you have to click the color control for color 1 up here. So let's click that once. And as it says here, this will control all comps. Meaning as soon as I change this color, it'll be affected in every single comp, which is going to save you a lot of time, especially if you are trying to export multiple lower thirds at once. So let's go back to style 2. And let's say we want to do like a green color. So for that hexagon color 1, color control color 1, I click that, and in this box, in this layer, you'll see the orange. Double click that, and you have this entire color picker for you to choose colors from. And let's go with like this kind of greenish bluish color here. I'm gonna hit OK. Now if you go back to the main timeline, you'll see that everything that was orange or is labeled as color 1 has now turned to that green. So that has saved you a lot of time there. Going back to style 2, where we're working on here, and let's say I want to change the color of the background of the title here. So I go to the title rectangle color 3. So I click color 3 up here, and this will change any color 3, anything labeled color 3 will be changed once you change this. So let's double click that, and I'm gonna do like a dark blue here. Hit OK. Click back to your style 2. Boom. And if you hit the main timeline, you'll see that everything that was labeled color 3, including like the zigzags or any other asset, has now been changed to that dark blue. So back to style 2 here, and the last thing I want to change is the background color of the name tag here. So name rectangle color 2, which means I have to change color 2 here on the color control. Click that, and let's do a lighter blue. That looks good. Click back to style 2. You can see that change was reflected, and it was also reflected in the entire timeline here. So this is cool if you have like custom colors you need to work with. If you have a particular brand, on the color controls, you can type in the hex number here if there's a certain brand guide you're trying to adhere to, or if you just want to pick and choose your own colors, you can do that as well. So the next step is to export this so you can drop it into your Premiere file or whichever program you're using. So you go up here to in After Effects, go to File, Export, Add to Render Queue. And this pulls up the render queue at the bottom here. And in order to export this with a transparent background, you have to go down here to the Output module. Click Lossless, and in Channels, under RGB, click this arrow and hit RGB plus alpha. Hit OK. And then you have to choose where you want to output it to. So click on the name, and I have a folder already opened up here, and I'm going to say Joe Smith lower third. Hit save, and the final step is to hit render. Success. So now I'm going to open up my Premiere file, and you see I have a timeline in here, and I'm going to import my lower third to place. And since it was exported with RGB plus alpha, we should be able to drop it right into our timeline without having an interference with the video. So I'm going to select Joe Smith lower third, the thing I just exported, hit import. I'm going to drag this right above there. Now, since these lower thirds were created in 4K, they're a lot larger than the stock footage. So what you have to do is click on the lower third layer and scale it down to 50%. And there. Now you can see that it has been exported correctly, and it's in your timeline, and it's over the footage that you desire it to be. Pretty cool. So then the next step is, let's say you want to transition between these two. Let's go back to our After Effects, and it'll be the same way that we exported the lower third. So in the main timeline, let's go ahead and choose, that's a pretty cool transition. So I'm gonna go with that one. I'm gonna double click the comp that says transition 2. And you can see the colors are the same as the lower third because it's all been manipulated by the color control. So I'm gonna hit File, Export, Add to Render Queue, just like you did before. And the same settings apply, so hit Output Module Lossless. You're going to hit RGB plus alpha. Hit OK. Output 2. Going to hit transition number 2, Joe Smith, just so we know what transition it's for. Hit save and click render. And you're ready to roll there. So let's open up Premiere again. And I'm going to import that. File, import. And there it is in my folder, transition 2, Joe Smith. Hit import. And then drag this over above where you want the transition to appear, and you can always adjust this too. And since I said that, just like before, it's a 4K, so you have to scale it down. So let's click that, hit 50, scale down 50%. And you can see it matches up pretty well. Adds a little extra flair to your video. Yeah, I think I like that. So everything looks like it's ready to roll, and you can save this out and export it any which way you want. Once again, I'm Ryan from Moshava.com, and thanks again. Bye.